So I sobbed when I read this book. I sobbed like I have never sobbed before. I quite literally had to put this book down, go downstairs, make myself a cup of tea and go outside because of how hardly I was crying. Listen, I have read the whole lot of Rina Kent's discography. I have read all her books. Some of her books have left me flabbergasted. Some of them have left me quite literally an emotional wreck, and this is one of these books. I have never read a book that has left me like this. So let's get into the
Wait a damn minute.
So let's get into this spoiler-free review of Hunt the Villain. If you don't know where this book came from, this is book 2 of the Villain series by Rina Kent. The first book is Kiss the Villain. So if you haven't already read that, I would recommend that you do read that. It's a good read, and we do get snippets of the main couple within this book. The main couple within this book is Von Morozov and Yulian Dmitriev, and these two have a dynamic that is absolutely crazy to witness. It's quite literally like fire and water, but they fit so well. So let me tell you a little bit about them. These two met when they were 15 at a camp that they were both sent to, and I think at the moment Penguin has released the first 50 pages, so you can actually read some of the dynamics, but they meet when they're quite young. Von is very level-headed, so there's a saying that he's just like his daddy, right? Von is just like his daddy. If you don't know who his daddy is Kirill from the Monster trilogy. He's the son of Kirill and Sasha, and these two, Kirill and Sasha, have to be one of my favourite couples from the Rinaverse, from the Bradfordverse even. They are a couple that have left me speechless, so I had such high expectations whilst going into Hunt the Villain. So Von is their son, and Kirill in the books is quite literally level-headed. He is really responsible, he does things by the rules, he makes the rules, and Von is literally copy and paste of that. He is so level-headed, it literally feels when you're reading that he's got his head screwed on. I have never met someone, I think he was 19 as well, that is so level-headed like Von. I was not like that at 19, let me tell you that much. He is responsible, whereas Yulian is the exact opposite. Yulian is psychopathic. He is crazy, he doesn't live by the rules, he tries to break them. My camera is dying, so this is gonna cut really quickly. Pew! So, Yulian, unlike Von, is quite literally just crazy. He breaks the rules, he does not follow them. He's quite literally the opposite of what Von is like. Von, unlike all his friends, he stayed in the United States to study, whilst all of his friends like Jeremy, Killian, Nikolai went to go study at the UK at King's KU College, where all the crazy stuff happens, like the Heathen's initiation, and where most of Legacy of Gods is set. However, Yulian, on the other side, studies at the same college that all his friends study at, so he participates in a lot of underground fights. If you've read the Legacy of God series, you'll know what I'm on about. They've got like underground fights that Jeremy, Nikolai participate in, and Yulian participates quite a bit. There's actually some of that kind of content in the book, so you get to see what I'm on about. It's just quite literally crazy. So you'd think, well, if one of them is in the United States and the other one is in the UK, how do they crash? They crash via the Heathen's initiation ceremony, because technically Von is part of the Heathens, so he flies over from the US to the UK with one plan in mind, and you actually get a snippet of this in Kiss the Villain, which I'll insert right here. This was like our first look into their dynamics, and quite literally it's insane. To tell you more about them, they are both sons of Bratva leaders. Von is the son, as I mentioned, of Kirill, and Kirill is in charge of the New York side of the Bratva, whereas Yulian's father, Yaroslav, is in charge of Chicago. So they're quite literally rivals, right? When you read the first 50 pages that are available on Penguin, you get to see that there's a little bit of maybe stuff going on under the tables, things that Von is trying to figure out for his father to prove to him that he is, you know, made for the pack hands position and stuff like that, but it gets really messy. I think the best way to talk about this book is that it was just a roller coaster. I mean, there was so much that happened within this book that quite literally left me shocked. There was just things that I was like, what? Like, what happened? Like, what? There were so many plot twists. It was a roller coaster of emotions, but it was so well written. I felt like I was taken out of my bedroom and I was plopped into the little universe. I felt like a fly on the wall watching it all happen. I could see it all in my head and it was just so good. There was angst, there was yearning, there was just so much in this book that I loved. And listen, I literally already mentioned that I read all of Rina's books, but this has to be one of my favorite books. I loved every single part of it and it was just so good. I mean, I saw all the discourse online about people talking about having like all these high expectations, and for me personally it met every single expectation that I had of this book. I mean, what else can you expect? It's Rina Kent. She writes some of the best books out there, and Hunt the Villain is literally just that. This book was so good. As you can tell, I've got like tabs of all of my favorite scenes and stuff of the year that I thought was quite important now, and I think I wanted to like remember it and go back to it and stuff like that. It was just such a privilege to read this book and to be able to experience this world, and I feel like it was a good like closing note, which if you may or may not know, at the moment in time the Bratverse is kind of closing, or so I think anyways. We're trying to move on. We've got the Viper series, all new characters, new worlds that we're venturing into, so it felt like a good closing note, especially as someone who loved the Monster trilogy so much, and I really wanted to you know, experience Von's book, and I was really hoping for it, and I was like, please can we get Von's book? So when this got announced, I was like, there's just no way. So I've been so excited, and it was just like a fever dream to be able to read this. I'll read you guys some of the tropes so you do know this, but before I get into the tropes, I have to let you know that for every single dark romance book, especially Rina Kent, you should read the trigger warning list. I know that a lot of people like to skip the list, however I think you should really look into it just in case. You never know what might trigger you, so we'll look into it, because some of these books are quite heavy in terms of like certain themes. I personally don't get triggered by stuff, but even I found some things quite hard to read, so please take care of yourself, please take care of your mental health. Your mental health comes above everything else, even above a book that you might have been really really excited for. Please take care of yourself and take care of your mental health, especially like in such a world. So, you know, be careful and read that list. It's there for a reason. It's there to give you, you know, that warning before you go into books. However, for the list, we've got Grumpy and Chaotic, and I think you can quite literally figure which is which, because, I mean, was the description not enough for you? Grumpy and Chaotic, it's a bi-awakening mafia romance, enemies to lovers, second chance, tension it says, but I'd say second chance romance. It's an MM, they both switch within the book as well. This book was just absolutely amazing. I think it has to be one of Rina's best books, so I really hope that you guys read it. It comes out on March 24th, if I haven't mentioned this already, so you can purchase it at the store, pre-order it. I think you'll be able to pre-order it still by the time I post this video, but if you're watching this later, you can go into the store and buy it. It's available at Waterstones, Blackwell's, Barnes & Noble's, Target, Walmart. I think that's it. Amazon. I'm buffering now. I think those are all the stores, maybe there's more, and any bookstore that's literally near you, it most probably will be there. I hope you guys really enjoy this book. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're excited. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all. Bye!